Hi everyone, Donna here. At the time that I'm recording this, I have just recorded a Facebook Live and I talked about delegation in that one. And then I listened to Amanda Francis. She does a podcast called As She Rises, and she has a multi-million-dollar company. And as I was listening to that one, it talks about the sacred duty of wanting more. And I really started thinking about kind of my upbringing and some of the things that I had been taught, or at least had absorbed without maybe not being taught, about how, you know, the love of money is the root of all evil and that kind of thing. How, you know, if you want more, you're not being thankful for what you have. How, yeah, a lot of the things that I grew up with. I grew up with the idea that expensive things were not necessary, and they're not. I have to agree with that one. I grew up with the idea that expensive things were not necessary, but also that they were not necessarily even desirable. By way of example, 3 years ago, I took my younger children to Disneyland. Okay, I'm going to kind of throw in a lot about me personally into this video. This is a bit more personal about me, although I want you to really take this in and I want you to apply it and really, really think about how your attitude towards money affects your business, okay? So 3 years ago, I had managed to pay, I was a single mother, I still am. I'm in a committed relationship, but I'm not married. And I had managed to send my number 4 child, my daughter Mercedes, to Disneyland with her choir twice. I had managed to send my youngest son, Jared, to the Boy Scout National Jamboree in West Virginia. And I had no idea when I signed him up how I was going to pay for it. I just trusted to the universe that the money would come exactly when it was needed. And it did. Within, invariably, about 2 weeks to a month before the next payment was due, some sort of project would land in my lap that would pay exactly what that payment was. So I knew that the universe was listening to me. And I'm trying to make this just kind of really broad because I'm Christian. I am not really mainstream Christian. I kind of not going to go into exactly which Christian I am, but my parents have grew up Baptist, and then they chose a less mainstream form of Christianity, but they didn't really see it as a big difference. Excuse me. So I decided I was going to take my kids to Disneyland, and I took the last money that I had and I bought the tickets. I paid for the hotel, and I just trusted that the money that we needed was going to continue to come in. And it did. We were gone for 5 days. We had almost a week. We had an amazing time. We were at the park for a full 5 days. I came back with my face hurting. I was smiling so much. And then we went to Laguna Beach, walked in the Pacific, and just felt like I was at home. Again, I grew up in Seattle, so the Pacific is home in a lot of ways to me. And I, you know, reintroduced my kids to the ocean. They've been there without me, and it just was a really special time. Like I said, we came back and our faces hurt because we've been smiling so much on that trip. And I decided on that trip that, you know what, I think I want to move to California. Or at least I want to spend a lot of time in California. So I kind of put it out there. And don't know if I will actually move there at this point, but we will arrange our lives to spend a good chunk of our time in California, in Southern California. Maybe not in Laguna Beach, maybe in Newport Beach. Won't go into that too terribly much right now. I think things are very much up in the air. But I learned in those couple of years before that Disneyland trip, which we took in October 2017, that when I set a really firm intention, I'm going to send my son to the BSA National Jamboree. By the way, if you don't like the Boy Scouts, it's fine. It's not for everyone. I don't want to hear it. Okay. I came from a scouting family, several generations. My boyfriend's family comes from a scouting family. Don't really care. Don't want to hear it. Okay. And I'm saying that because so many people will put so much negativity out there. I don't want negativity. Okay. I will delete your comments if they're negative. But I just put it out there that when these payments come in, the money will be there. It will arrive the day I need to make the payment. And it did. And kind of the same thing with Disneyland. I figured out how much I needed. And I said, I don't know where the money's going to come from, but it will arrive. And it did. So I know that we can attract the funds that we need when we put these absolute firm intentions out there. When I decide I'm going to have X number of clients and I start diligent, you do have to work at it. Okay. You have to kind of prove it to the universe that you mean it. At least that's been my experience. If you have a different experience, let me know. But as a business owner, I do feel like I have to tell people that I'm here and that I'm accepting new clients and that I have a staff and we can take care of your stuff. And yes, I know what I'm talking about. And please give us a call. Our number is going to be in the comments, by the way, or it's going to be in the description of this video. But I don't have to work as hard as maybe I think I do. Okay. I do know that things start to happen. In other words, I can't have a thriving business if I don't have the intention. That's the first one. One of the men that conquered Everest, it wasn't Sir Edmund Hillary, but it was someone in his party, said that once you have an absolute commitment to doing something, when they absolutely decided we are hiking to the summit of the highest mountain on earth, and it was an absolute, this is the day we're going, this is what we're doing, all of a sudden they would start talking to people who would say, wow, that's amazing. You know what? I have someone you need to talk to. They have the equipment that you need. I have someone that you need to talk to who knows people in Kathmandu. I know people you need to talk to. Let me get you in touch with someone. I have a guy that would be willing to sponsor your trip. Okay? When you make that absolute commitment to certain things, the universe moves to make things happen. So the reason I'm saying this is I see so many business owners just feel like they don't deserve to have success. I have seen business owners succeed in spite of being the biggest dumbasses that you could imagine. I mean, I have seen business owners who are so sweet and they're so nice and they're so, how on earth are you making money? You know, very much succeeding in spite of themselves. And then I see people who are brilliant and intelligent and on top of things, and organized, and they cannot make a penny. They don't have two pennies to rub together. And I have been trying to, I really think it comes down to this idea of believing that you deserve to ask for more. Okay? I deserve to do the things that I want to do. I deserve to be free of illness, since that's a big theme this year. I deserve to be free of illness. I'm not going to depend on the pharmaceutical company to make me that way. I am going to decide that I'm not going to get sick. It worked for the years when my kids were little. I would literally say, I don't have time to be sick. And I would get a little sniffle and I would tell myself, I don't have time to be sick. And my body would just kind of go, yes, ma'am. And I would recover right away. Um, the same thing with money. Money is an interesting thing because so many people have these negative attitudes towards it. We see it back in the statement that the love of money is the root of all evil, and I absolutely disagree with that. If you want money because you are a good person, and good people can want money. In fact, the people with money kind of amplifies who you are. It's kind of like alcohol, you know? Money kind of amplifies who you are. So if you're already a bad guy, if you are Pablo Escobar and you have no problems killing people with your money, and you you don't care how you get it, so long as you get it, you don't care who you hurt, well, then it's going to create more of that. If you are a good person, if you are, I don't even know who to use anymore, because if you're Mother Teresa and you want money to come to you because you want to give to the poor, you're going to be more of that. I want to have money, or I want to generate money in my company because, one, I want to live a specific lifestyle. I want to travel every month. I want to spend half the month in California and half in Utah. I want to buy a big old RV. Kids can't come home. They don't know where home is. Just kidding, kids. I want to do that. Maybe once, maybe for one summer, I want to have a great big bus and I want to go tour the United States and see what I can see. I want to have the feeling that if I decide I want to travel, I can just hop in my car and go if I want a road trip, or I can just hop in my plane and go. That's the lifestyle that I want. Is it a bad lifestyle? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it depends very much on what you want to do with your money. Tony Robbins does amazing things with his money. We see so many good people doing so many good things. We see this all the time in America. I've lived in Germany for 3 years when I was in my 20s. In fact, when I was in my early 20s, I still laugh at some of my friends' kids who are, 25 and never left home. And I was like, when I was 25, I had 3 kids and lived on 2 continents, lived in Germany for 3 years, been divorced twice, and had a very adventurous life. And some of my friends' kids, 27, still living at home. But again, that goes back to that money mindset. Been trying to teach it to my daughter Mercedes, of this idea of you have plenty of money. What you want to do is decide that you deserve to be highly compensated for the work that you do. And that's a little bit hard for me because this business is run on volume. It's run on low prices, kind of like Walmart. My plan was to be the low price leader, to price this according to the amount of effort it takes, but then to be able to say, this is how much it costs. And you don't have to worry about anything else but paying this amount. And because we can do things as quickly as we can, because technology is catching up with our visions, we can charge a very small price to make sure that we keep track of everybody's finances on a weekly or monthly basis. And I am looking at revamping our pricing. We've always done this weekly, but I am looking at doing monthly and annual pricing. Excuse me. And part of that is so that I can hire some awesome sales guys to go out and sell an annual package. There's always a way. That's kind of the thing. I don't know what the way is sometimes, but I do trust that it will be revealed to me in some form. So I really want to share with you this idea about money mindset. I am going to redo this video. I am going to put up a new one. This one will probably go up on Thursday, and then I will come up with another one on Friday that may be more scripted. But this is really important to me because, and you know, now that we're towards the end, I'm going to go a little bit more woo-woo. I grew up believing that I am a daughter of my Heavenly Father who loves me, and I love Him. In fact, the young women of our church get up every Sunday when church is in session, and they recite that. I grew up hearing a song that said, I am a child of God. Well, I don't know about you, but I kind of look out at the natural world, and I see that cats have baby cats, and dogs have baby dogs, and goats have baby goats, and people have baby people, and gods, do they not have baby gods? So if my Father in heaven is a god, doesn't that make me a goddess? And if I'm a goddess, doesn't that make me deserving of all good things? Might be a little bit heavy, might be a little bit woo-woo, but I just wanted to throw that out there. You know, for those of you that are inclined to listen to that, if you believe that you're a child of God, then by definition, you yourself are a God. Now let's go and create amazing things. If you're interested in having us do your income tax, personal tax, sales tax, payroll, and bookkeeping, I'm going to leave the number for our firm in the description. Really am looking forward to hearing from you, and really give some thought to the idea that you deserve amazing success. We are here to help you achieve it.